post-game overtime exclusive live stream on SNY.TV. We'll be handing out our full report cards from the game and much more. Janae Coakley catching up Wesley Johnson and David Harris. So we'll see how that goes. But let's get to the grades, and we begin with the offense. The Jets won 30-10 over the Bills to finish 5-11. What grade you giving the offense, Ray?
I give him a good B. You know, because it starts with a B, and the guy who I like is Bilal Powell. That's why they got the B, because that's what Bilal Powell's name starts with. Great job running the ball. Offensive line played actually pretty good, protected. A little too many drops, but mostly effective, Mike.
Mike Westhoff, what are you giving him?
I gave him a B also. I like the little diversity they showed with some different tight end packages. That looked good to me. Blau obviously did a heck of a job, and they did some nice jobs, things throwing the football. So a very good, solid B against not a great defense, but yet they did enough things to move that ball very well.
Chad Cascadden.
I only gave him a C+, and despite the fact that they did run the ball well and Blau did run the ball well, I didn't like the play calling. I didn't like these draws to Bilal Powell on this 4th and 1, 3rd and 9. And a lot of drops. I thought that they could have scored more points, but they did do a good job of sort of playing within themselves and no turnovers, so C+.
All right, Wesley Johnson.
Valid point with the short yardage. Very good point with short
yardage. That will reflect in my coaching grade.
Well, all right, well, we'll get there. But before we get there, Wesley Johnson has done a nice job taking over for Nick Mangold after Nick Mangold got hurt. Here is Janae Coakley with Wesley Johnson.
Wesley, how has this season been for you?
You know, wish we could have done better, but I was happy we won on a high note.
How was it filling in for Nick and taking that job over as center?
You know, it was cool, and I think the coolest part about it is he helped me every step of the way, so I appreciated the heck out of that.
Moving forward, where do you see yourself?
As a member on our offensive line, we'll see.
What are some of the areas that you need to work on moving into the offseason?
You know, normal stuff, getting bigger and stronger, and then just keep maturing, starting to understand the concepts of the plays that we're running instead of trying to memorize schemes, being better at communicating, stuff like that.
You get to see Bryce Petty and Christian Hackenberg in practice today. What do you see in these young kids?
They're both great guys. It'll be interesting to see how everything shakes out. I'm looking forward to both of them being successful.
Do you see bright futures for both of these guys?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The way they both work, the way they approach it, you know, and they've learned a lot from Fitz. So I'm excited for both of them. With
Fitz' possibility not being on the team next year, what does that mean for this offense?
I'm not going to comment on that. I know that our goal is to be better next year than we were this year.
How disappointing was this year for you guys?
You know, we wish we would have done better, but we'll carry that into the offseason. Hopefully it'll be good for us.
What does it say that you guys ended the way you did, all 3 phases playing good ball?
Yeah, it's great. You know, I think it's a credit to the character on our team that we were able to, you know, go out and finish strong.
What did Todd say to you guys?
Same thing. Glad we fought till the end, and we were proud of that.
And it's exciting that Todd's going to be back as the coach.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, thanks, Wesley.
Thank you.
Back to you.
All right, let's continue on with our grades. Let's get to defense. Chad Cascadden, what are you giving the defense?
You know what? B+. Look, they went against one of the biggest rushing teams out there, held them to 68 yards, had 2 turnovers, had 2 sacks, and had an interception. I thought they actually played pretty good. This is what I think you should have seen from the Jets all year long. But let's not, you know, get too crazy. E.J. Manuel did a pretty good job of showing how, you know, it made the Jets look pretty good when they probably weren't that
hot
good.
steaming pile of poop.
Well, we'll get to your full thoughts on that, I guess.
Grading Buffalo's offense.
Manuel was terrible.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mike.
I give them a B+, almost exactly as Chad. The turnovers, stopping the run, and that type of thing. It was close to being the defense that I'm wanting to see. It does also show what it's like to go against a quarterback that has incredible inefficiencies, and Buffalo showed that today.
Well, he said that very nicely.
I was trying to help.
He said it that way. I said it this way. Big, hot, steaming pile. I gave the defense a B+. Again, it's not about what E.J. Manuel did. It's actually about what the Jets did. I finally saw people flying around making plays, and I agree with my colleagues to my left, to my right, excuse me. They were getting after it today. It was good to see.
Get after it.
Yeah.
All right. David Harris, of course, is always a big part of that defense. Here's our Janae Coakley with David Harris.
David, Todd said he wanted to finish this season with a complete game. That's what you guys did. What was the mentality going into today's game?
I mean, I felt like we had a really good preparation. It had been easy for a lot of guys to throw a towel in, knowing that this was last game, but guys didn't do that. and guys stuck together, kept fighting. We knew the other team was in the same situation that we were in, and it's just always an honor to come out here and play a sport that most of us have been playing since we was kids.
How difficult has this season been for you, despite ending on a positive note?
I mean, nobody expected us to be, 5-11, but it is what it is. And all we can do as professionals is keep coming out, doing our job, and keep pushing that way.
It's been announced that Todd's coming back. No changes will be made. What does Todd mean to this team, and are you excited Todd's coming back?
Yeah, I'm very excited. Guys got to come out and play hard for him, and we'll see what happens in the offseason. It's going to be roster turnover like it always is, and it'll be interesting to see.
Last one.
All right, that was Janae Coakley with David Harris out there. By the way, our thanks to Janae Coakley, who's done a great job with all the interviews all year long.
She does a good job.
Fantastic job. Our thanks to her. Let's roll on with our grades. Let's get to special teams. Mike, what'd you give the special teams?
I give them a B-. They got it. They had a touchdown, but that certainly is. That's more the total inefficiency of Buffalo. Realized they two guys let a kick hit between them and it rolled back. I mean, somebody better get on it. If it goes in the end zone, just go in and down it. It'd be a touchback. You can't stay away from it like they did, and it resulted in a touchdown. But I saw some better, solid play. I'm disappointed in the punter. I look for a year next year that he's got to improve, and we've got to find a return guy. So those are things. But today showed some things that were solid, and I'm hoping that they have something to build on because, believe me, they have a lot of building to do.
Chad.
Yeah, to me it was B. I thought the punter was okay. I think Nick Folk did a very nice job. I thought they were pretty good awareness of realizing that kickoff was not a punt, so that you can't down a kickoff. And so they went and jumped on it, touchdown. Good job. Didn't give up anything big. So, in the end of the day, that punt return, this has been 2 years now that they've struggled on this punt return. That could be a huge weapon for them. They did not address it this year. It's a B.
Okay, now normally I'm wincing at this point.
Yes.
I turn this way.
I'm telling you.
I'm like rolling my chair over here.
Dude, I'm serious. I'm ready.
Go ahead.
I give him a B.
Look at that.
Because it's with a touchdown.
Wow.
But again, let's not talk about the dumb guy that doesn't know that the kickoff is a live ball as soon as it leaves the kicker's feet and lets it roll into the end zone. And then as he's positioning himself to fall on the ball, just lets the jet guy come in and fall on top of it. They scored a touchdown. B, baby.
Look at that.
I mean, it's a perfect day today.
Sunshine and birds everywhere.
Yes,
Look at that. All right, let's get to coaching. Mike, what'd you give the coaching staff?
I give them a B. A good solid B. They didn't, obviously this football team in the last several weeks has really collapsed. He kept the team together. He brought them out. There wasn't losing the locker room and all that kind of crazy quotes. I didn't see any of that. This team played like I thought that they would play. It wasn't perfect, but there were some good things. This is what I believe the New York Jets would be. And today they showed a lot of those things that they did a nice job of. They deserve a B.
Right.
I give him a D. And I'll tell you why. Halftime, before the halftime, the offense is going down to score. There was a mistake. The 2 timeouts, I mean, it leaves me scratching my head. And then they throw the ball over the middle. Chen Gilly calls a draw. You got a shot at the end. There's only 30 seconds left. You got to throw the football at the end zone. And then the 4th down calls. 4th and 1, we're running 8-man protection. They got 11 guys in the box, and we run 2 draws. So to me, this is like the big question mark where I have going in the season. And you heard David Harris talk about the turnover. Is there going to be turnover with these offensive and defensive coordinators? On offense, I think so.
Probably.
I think so.
Yeah, I gave him a B-, not a D. Similar to what Coach said, I did think there were some real discrepancies in that 3rd and those 4th down calls. I don't like those calls. And to me, that was offensive coordinator. On defense, they got back to who they were. I thought that was good. I'd like to see more of that. And then as an overall game plan, again, other than some of the timeout toward the end of the second quarter, I thought it was good. So in my mind, B-. There's going to be turnover. There has to be turnover because they need to change their philosophies on defense and offense. I'm not saying total drastic change, but certainly some tweaking.
Anytime you're 5-11, that is likely to come. So, Mike, what is the state of this team right now, and how do they move forward?
Okay, that's an interesting. The state of the team is you're 5-11. That's the state, because that's where you are. You're not in the playoffs. You're going to watch it at home. You're packing your bags tomorrow and you're getting out. Okay, how did they get there? They're going to have to sit down, Woody Johnson, say, okay, we know where we ended up. How did we get here? You're staying as the head coach. What are we going to do differently? You, number one, have to do a better job, as Ray pointed out, becoming a clock manager and managing the football game. We'd like to see maybe a little movement on the sideline. Get another pair of shoes. Let's get moving a little bit, Todd. This is something. I'm just telling you the truth how I feel. Also, are these coordinators the guys we want? Are they matching the personnel that we have? Let's get these things lined up and get some answers before we head into this offseason to make some crucial decisions.
Chad?
You know, I think one of the things I like to take with business and also with football is, are you utilizing what you have to the best of its ability? And if you're not doing that, then you either got to go out and get better talent, or you've got to find a coach who does a better job of taking that talent and getting the most out of it. I think the Jets have to do both, and I think they will. I think they're going to find probably a younger coordinator with different philosophies on offense. And on defense, I'm not so sure yet, but I would like to see them match their talent with their philosophy. And I think that is what you'll start seeing. And then Maccagnan, he's got to do a better job of getting the right talent in with the right. A lot of turnover this year at corner and at linebacker. It just felt like there was a lot of movement, and that shows up in special teams.
Ray, you're the longest tenured member of this Jets crew here at SMY. Final word on where they go from here.
From here up, I hope. You know what I mean? For me to sit here and say that I thought the Jets would win 5 games, when Mike said 6 games, I thought he was insane. I thought this team would have went to the playoffs. I thought this defense was going to be absolutely spectacular, being in the top 3 for the whole entire season, which it wasn't. So now I know those glaring mistakes that I didn't see at the beginning of the season, and there is a lot of them. Number one, they don't have a guy who rushes the passer. Number 2, they don't have an offensive line that can protect the quarterback. Number 3, okay, you got a defensive playmakers all over the place, and they're not playing in the right position as far as I'm concerned. But, again, I just sit behind the desk. And the secondary turnover, to me, is going to be very drastic. I thought Gilchrist was a bright spot a year ago. Not that good very much this year. Calvin Pryor, another guy who I thought underplayed this season. And, again, you know, when you have a guy like Muhammad Wilkerson, granted, was he hurt? Was he nicked up and stuff like that? The Jets can only go up if Mike Maccagnan does his job, and Todd Bowles does his job.
All right. Well, it should be a very interesting off-season. Again, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure all year long.
Oh, yeah.
Jonas,
Jonas,
really appreciate it. Chad Cascadden, Mike Westhoff, Ray Lucas. I'm Jonas Schwartz. Thank you for tuning in all season long. We really appreciate you taking the time to watch us and engage with us all year long. We look forward to doing it with you again next year. Of course, be sure to bookmark SMY.tv and thejetsblog.com for more coverage and analysis of today's game. Stick with SMY all off-season long because our Jets coverage continues on. Thanks so much. Happy New Year.
Happy New
Year,
everybody.
See you next time, everybody.
Happy New Year.